And welcome everybody to week 6 of the high school football season here in Michigan. As always, at least in the past couple weeks, everything is being moved up from what we know, except for a handful of games that are over on the east side. Brownstone's still going to be played at 7 o'clock, but for the most part, all the games in our coverage area are being moved up to 5 or 5:30 because of the Triple E and mosquitoes. So, and I just read a report today we had in Thursday's paper that another person died from it. It's now the fourth case. Be careful, I guess, and we'll go from there. How did everybody do last week, Tom?
Well, as far as last week goes, you and I both went 8-2, and the Twitter folk went 7-3. So that I still have a 1-game lead at 39-10. You're 38-11. And the Twitter folk are 34-15.
They're slipping.
They're slipping, yep.
Where should we start?
Well, let's start in the Wolverine.
Okay.
Sturgis has homecoming this week. And they get to host the team that is tied for number 1 now in the Division 4 rankings, Paw. They're tied with what? Country Day?
Detroit Country Day, yep.
Last year, Paw got a 37-0 win. I'm thinking it's probably going to be similar type situation for the Redskins. I think they're better than they were last year. But I think Sturgis will be able to, they've been moving the ball. Even last week, even though they lost to Allegan, they still outgained Allegan. So they're moving the ball, it's just last week turnovers killed them. I'm going with Paw 35-7.
Take the Redskins as well. I'm going to go 38-9.
The other Wolverine game of note, Three Rivers goes to the Lakeshore and they play South Haven. Three Rivers 1-4, South Haven is 0-5. Last year the Wildcats got a 55-7 win. We saw Three Rivers, or seen Three Rivers, we've seen South Haven. I think the Wildcats get the win over the Rams, 42-14.
Yeah, Three Rivers put up 42 points last week
In a
loss to Vicksburg, but showed some fight there. So I'd imagine more of the same here. I'm going to go Three Rivers 35-7.
In Southwest 10, Mendon on the road at Hartford. Mendon comes in 4-1, both in overall and in league. Hartford's 3-2 overall, 2-2 in the Southwest 10. Last year, I believe it was week 3.
It was early, yeah.
Yeah, it was early. Hartford escaped Mendon with a 26-24 win. At that time, people were kind of wondering, 'cause I think Mendon had fallen to 1-2 at that point.
Yes.
But they, of course, came back and made the playoffs. I'm going with Mendon this year. I think they get a comfortable 28-7 win.
Yeah, they've been lining it up and handing it off to Jackson Krotzer and Austin Renzi and all those boys I got back coming out of the backfield. I'm not sure Hartford is going to be fully prepared for that because if Mendon's coming to town, they're going to line up, they're going to hand the football off, they're going to run it at you. But having to tackle those kids over and over and over again is not fun, especially if Mendon gets a couple score lead on you. So I'm going to go Hornets 35-6. That defense is playing well.
Next up, we have Centerville traveling over to Marcellus. Bulldogs 3-2, both in league and overall. Marcellus 2-3 overall, 1-3 in the league. Last year, the Bulldogs got a 43-0 win. I'm thinking the Bulldogs will get their 4th win of the year with 22-6 victory.
Yep. Marcellus led White Pigeon at halftime and into the third quarter last week before weather moved that game to Saturday. They're a good football team, but I think Centerville's got something to prove here. Bulldogs lost a couple of games early. Now they got a shot. They're thinking playoffs and everything else, and really can't have any other slip-ups at this point. So I'm going to take the Bulldogs 28-12.
In a game of unbeatens, we have Cassopolis at White Pigeon. Both teams 5-0, 4-0 in the league. Winner is automatic qualifier. Loser's probably just a week or 2 away. But either way, last year Cass got the win 28-12. This is going to be a tough game.
It is.
White Pigeon, well, shoot, even a couple weeks ago, Centerville battled Cass pretty tough.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And I think White Pigeon might be just a little bit more physical. They're going to be at home.
Mm-hmm.
I think thanks to a missed unconverted 2-point try, White Pigeon escapes with a 16-14 win.
So that's the thing. Cass is going to have the speed. They're going to have the athletes, and they're going to want to, get them the football and get to the sidelines and whatnot. But White Pigeon's going to want to funnel you in, and just everything's going to be slow and methodical. And I think that, you do that over and over again, eventually you're going to get a kid that gets either lackadaisical or maybe takes a nap on a play and forgets an assignment or something like that. White Pigeon's got kids that can absolutely get the job done, and they're at home, as you mentioned. I like that 2-point conversion miss. That's kind of neat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take White Pigeon 21-20 though. 21-20. I think Cass, they're going to go for 2 at some point. They're going to not be able to convert, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll lose by a point.
Another big matchup, 3 miles away, is going to be Schoolcraft coming down to play Constantine at Sweetland Stadium.
Yep.
Schoolcraft's undefeated and 1-0 in league. Constantine also opened up the league play last week with a win, 4-1 overall.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, Schoolcraft got a pair of wins during the regular season. They won 63-27, the game that Kobe Clark went off on and got 9 touchdowns. And then in the playoffs, it was more of a battle, and Constantine had their chances to win, but Schoolcraft escaped 28-24. I think it's going to be, Friday night's game is going to be more like the playoff game. It's going to be close, but I think Schoolcraft's just got a little bit more, and they're going to get a 34-30 win.
Here's the thing, if Constantine doesn't turn her over 100 times against Berrien Springs, and 98 of those times in enemy territory where they had the football, they're 5-0.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that happens, and they've gotten better because of that. I'm taking Constantine to win at home this week. I'm going to go 38-35. They're better, I think, than people are giving them credit for, and that defense has been playing well.
Mm-hmm. Next up in the Big 8, we have Bronson traveling over to Reading. Reading, who is
Defending state champion.
defending state champs, and I think they bumped up to number 1 now in Division 8.
Yes, they are Division 1.
Yeah.
Or number 1 in Division 8, I'm sorry.
Yep. Reading is 4-1. Their only loss coming to Pewamo Westphalia, last year's Division 7 champion.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously 4-0 in conference, while Bronson has yet to pick up a victory. Last year, the Rangers won 63-0. I think, unfortunately for the Vikings, it's going to be a similar type situation.
Yep.
But I think they get a score of 46-8.
I don't think they score. Not through any fault of their own. Obviously, that, as we've mentioned time and time again, it's a process. And I think from what I've been hearing, it's going along as well as they could. I mean, obviously they're not winning football games, so that hurts. But you got to get the kids out, and then you got to get the kids to buy in, and then you got to have everything go your way, and then you got to get on the field, and then it's just such a long process. And Reading's got that figured out, and they're big, and they're physical, and it's just going to be too much. So I'm taking them 45-0.
In 8-man football, got a matchup between Colon and Bellevue, up in Bellevue. Colon, of course, undefeated, coming off the big victory over Climax Scots last week. So they're 2-0 in conference play. Bellevue's 2-1, 3-2 overall.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, both teams played. Bellevue, it was second week. Bellevue coming off, I think they had a state semifinal appearance the year before. And Colon kind of showed that they had arrived already with a 45-20 win, and then come playoff time, Colon got a 40-22 win. I think Magi go to 3-0 over Bellevue with a 40-20 win on Friday night.
Yeah, that's going to be one of those games. I watched Colon play on Saturday at Climax Scots, and those were two teams that were polar opposites. Not that Climax isn't a good football team, but that game was not close. And I think Colon, they avoid the letdown here. It'd be natural, right?
Mm-hmm.
Top 5 game, go on the road. It rains the night before, so you're built up to Saturday, then you explode and you have this huge game. It would only be natural for them to kind of maybe take this one a little bit easy. But I'm not getting to feel like that from this group. So I think they beat Bellevue 42-14 kind of game.
Mhm.
You know, don't want to get anybody hurt,
Mhm.
that kind of thing.
And the other 8-man game, Baroque travels over to Waldron.
Yep.
Baroque's 3-2, 2-0 in the small division of
Mhm.
the 8-man SCA, and Waldron's 1-4, 0-2. Last year, Baroque beat the Spartans 40-22.
Mhm.
Now, Waldron did lose last week to Tecontra, but it did take overtime, 56-54. Prior to that, Waldron's kind of struggled. Their only win is a forfeit win. I think Baroque has got the stronger team. They'll win 36-8 to go to 4-2.
Yep, and one of the nice things, at least if you're a fan of Baroque, you only played one quarter last week. And then Litchfield decided, this rain is too much, we're going to get back on the bus, we're going to go home.
Mm-hmm.
So from a health standpoint, they should be okay, you would think.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard anything otherwise. You know, when you go on the road, it's always nice to go on the road and get a win.
Mhm.
And I think that they're able to do that. You're going 36-8, huh?
Yep.
I'll go 44-12, Baroque.
And in the final game that we pick here,
Mhm.
Lakeland's on the road at West Noble. The Chargers are 6-0,
They're good,
3-0 in the NECC. Big division, Lakeland held a 1-5 last week, 0-2 in the league. Last year, the Lakers got a 47-23 win. West Noble's the team to beat in that division. Probably a team to beat in either division.
Could be.
Because none of the small schools are even, I think best schools might be 4-2.
Mhm.
So West Noble's the class of the league. I think they get a 35-14 win.
Yeah, I'm taking them 38-21 over Lakeland. Just too tough on the road.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So that'll do it for this week.
yeah, volleyball's in full swing. Girls golf. First Sturgis has got their conference is being conference tournament is at Stonehenge North Thursday. So good luck to them and of course Three Rivers. But it's starting to turn. I mean, it was warmer earlier this week, but now we're going to start to get into, you know, fall
Yeah.
football weather.
Bring your hoodie or
Yeah.
jacket. It's
Always nice to
supposed
have the extra stuff. Yeah.
probably down in the mid-50s by game time,
Mhm.
and it's supposed to drop into the mid-40s overnight, so it'd probably be pushing upper 40s by the time games get over. Well, now they're early games, so.
That's still it'll be chilly.
For the games that start at 7,
Mhm.
it'll be chilly.
Going back
Still
to
not cold enough, though, to kill the skeeters.
No, not yet. We're being told that the first frost is coming. Back to Sturgis's homecoming, they are not having a parade, from what we're being told, but all activities are going to still be happening. So they'll have the floats and everything else at the game and whatnot. But that game is kicking off at 5 o'clock there in Sturgis. So yeah, that's what we got. Anything else?
Unless you want to talk about your Lions from Sunday.
Tough loss. Game they need to win.
Bears won, though.
Should have won. Yeah. I'll tell you what, the throw Stafford had between those 5 Chiefs there, that's next level throw.
That was
nice.
a good throw.
But
I thought they played well.
yeah, I mean, hey, Kansas City's supposed to be the team.
They
You know,
could
and
win
they
all
are.
the games they wanted, other than the 2 when they played the Bears.
We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.